guys, welcome back to another episode of Sleeping Giants. Now, in our last episode, we had a pretty piss-poor result, losing 2-1 away at Botev Plovdiv, and I was gutted. I really was. And I think I made the mistake of playing that system in that game, although I felt that it should have worked, really, against a poor side. We were better than them on the night, but they got the 2-1 win. Thankfully, we got ourselves the 1, and the 1 is kind of the key part of that game for me. Now, obviously, we weren't doing great in the transfer market at the time, and obviously I'm going to talk about these games, don't worry, but we have managed to make some more signings. I really have tried, but it is so difficult at the moment to bring anyone in. So at the last game, we'd signed these 3 players right now. So what I've done, I've managed to sign a couple more. Unfortunately, something really bad has happened. Now, you might have seen me talk about this on Twitter. I didn't actually explain what it was, but I did explain kind of what had happened. And basically what has happened is, you know when you constantly get offers for players, which is obviously going to happen because we've been in the Champions League and there's constantly people bidding for our players. So when you reject it, you get the chance to reject all offers of lower or equivalent value, right? I use that a lot because it means that we don't have to worry about me constantly because I was getting offers like the same every single day last year. Some of the teams were like Bucharest were offering me the same amount for the same player every day for about 3 weeks, and I was getting sick of it. It doesn't stop them, but you don't have to see it as much. It won't bring a news article up that you have to respond to, basically. So I use that a lot, basically, to stop people from bidding on our players, and yeah. Generally, it works very well. So all along through the transfer window, I was rejecting and seeing it come up and rejecting bids for Darko Lazovic, basically, because he was our best player last year, and I was like, nope, we need to keep these guys on board, get as many good players, because at the moment we're really struggling to find anyone. So, nope, rejecting. It was rejecting. And all of a sudden, I saw one, and it said, Darko Lazovic agrees move to Real Valladolid. And I'm like, what? I didn't change the instruction, and they didn't bid any more money. They were still bidding a woeful amount, and yet for some reason my board had decided, nah, we're gonna accept it above your head. Apparently, I didn't even know they could do that. It wasn't like with Luka Jovic where there was no contract. He had a contract. He's 25 years old. I think he's 25. Point is, it was ridiculous, and that means, of course, that he is now gone to Real Valladolid for 2.2 million quid. His value last season was 3.4 million. He's gone up by 1 because of the new contract, but I was absolutely gobsmacked by it. How well he played for us last year, and then for them to just be able to do that was gutting, really. And I've been really struggling to find anyone that can actually do that. It's a pain in my arse. It's really annoying because, like, it's all very well hanging on to the players, but if you literally can't hang on to them because the board will just sell them above you, even though you've specifically got it set to not do that. Very annoying. So yeah, the little rant over there. So we have lost Darko Lazovic, which is a massive pain. We do have some good news, though. I'm going to talk about this straight away because it's important. Look who's back! Luka Jovic has rejoined us on loan, albeit, but we've got him on loan for the season. I figured, I was looking around and I thought, who can we get that's a striker that we can play up front with O2? Well, this is who. Luka Pisniovic. He is a lovely player. Didn't really get much game time last year. We didn't get any game time for Dinamo Kiev last season after he joined. Played for Parma for a bit, but we're paying them 200,000 for the loan. I'm not really bothered, to be honest. For me, it's worth every penny. It's Luka Jovic. We get him for the entire season, which will give me enough time then, of course, to get new leagues in the database. Once the computer arrives, I'll be able to add loads of new leagues in next year. So which will give us much more players we can actually choose from. Because the problem has been I couldn't sign anyone. It's just been really awful. So that should tide us over nicely. Now, I have made one quite large signing, and this is Dragoljub Surnic. Now, he came from Čukarički. Čukarički. Is that how it's pronounced? Right. Guy was telling me how to pronounce some of these names, and they're a little bit more complex than I'd figured, because Serbian's quite a difficult language. I think it's pronounced Čukarički. So there we go. Yeah, we've signed him from them. He was probably the best player outside of us and Partizan last season. So I was keen to bring him in to play in that middle in case Bosancic wasn't fit. Plus, we might need a second midfielder at times. So yeah, that's basically the plan. Ristic is looking good though, so that's good too. So we ended up bringing him in for 2.5 million, maybe paid over the odds slightly for him, but we needed to make a signing and it was a bit desperate. I have now signed an affiliate deal with Napoli. The only player they would offer me was Salvatore Borelli, who frankly looks a lot older than 18. He had a paper round in Baghdad, I think. But yeah, I don't think he's particularly great. He will be one day, but he's not going to make any impact for us this year. But I just figured I'd get him because squad numbers, really. Other loan signing I was able to make, this is Anthony Annan, who we got from Sochaux. We do have a £2.9 million buying fee at the end of the loan if we want him, but I don't think I probably will. Point is, it's another defensive midfielder, and that was the only reason I picked him up. And the other one is probably the signing I'm most pleased about. This, and most of you, anyone who's watched my St. Pauli save will recognise this lovely little blonde-haired elf, and that is Mark Rakowski. And I was very surprised that we were able to get him for 1.8 million, and he's only on 6k as well. Let's make this clear, he's not on stupid money. Like, we managed to get him, although, yeah, he's come from a German second division side. Thankfully, he was the best player at St. Pauli in my first couple of seasons, so I was pretty pleased to bring him in. My main reason I like him is because he can play all across the front line, technically can play in the middle as well, and left and right midfield if we need that, and even could fill in at defensive midfield, but really not that important. Point is, he can play all over that sort of attacking line, and that's kind of why I brought him in, especially with Lazovic now being gone. So, yeah, that's the final signing I've been able to make. I'm not sure if I'll make any more. It depends. We've still got a little bit of money left, I think, although I may not, actually. Let's just have a little gander here. 760,000... left, and I might just save that in case we need someone in January, you know. There's a couple more youngsters I'm looking at, but we're still negotiating those at the moment, so we'll tell you more about those later. Obviously, you know about Castanas and you know about Piller, but there's Alan Martinez and there's Edward Adamenko, who I'm getting from Shakhtar, who I'm actually quite excited about, but we'll talk about that in a later episode. So, we need to talk about what happened, and I know you've seen it when I started the episode, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Firstly, we beat Lokomotiv Kosice 1-0, Nenad Gavric getting the goal, which is good. Planic picked up a slight knock in that game, which was a pain. At home against Botev, I decided to play our controlling, dominating, two-up-top tactic, and it worked a treat. We were 3-0 up inside the first 10 minutes in this game. Luka Jovic and Mahatma Otto were absolutely amazing. They made a glorious partnership in the games we've played so far this season. Jovic put us in front on 2 minutes. Nenad Gavric made it 2-0 on 6 minutes before Nikola Karaklic... Oh, wait. Karaklaic. Apologies for that, guys. Karaklaic. I think it's Karaklaic. Apologies. It's a slightly tongue-twisty name, that one. Yeah, it was a fairly comfortable performance in the end before Luka Jovic wrapped it up after half-time. 5-2 on aggregate, 4-0 win there, nice and cushy. I was getting a little bit worried. They did get a player sent off as well. But as you can see, they had some clear-cut chances, though, I have to say. They were very good at turning shots into clear-cut chances, but we were better, and thoroughly deserved to take the win and get ourselves through to the next round. I was quite annoyed, actually, when I saw... We played against Vasas, and then a game after that, Karaklaic scored again, and Milas Zukanovic also got a goal for us. Now, I was quite annoyed when I saw that we'd been drawn against Brøndby. They played against Skonto Riga, wwho are a Latvian side in the Latvian capital of Riga, but they beat them. They actually drew with them in Denmark, but then beat them 5-0 in Riga. So, yeah. They were always going to go through. But they're a good side. They're presumably the Danish champions. So, although maybe not. I don't know, actually. They're definitely... I don't know whether they won the Danish league or not. But they're certainly right up there. A decent side, Brøndby. I mean, I don't know if Daniel Agger still plays for them or not. Probably not by now. We're third season into this save. But they've got people like Johan Elmander. So they can clearly afford some pretty lofty players. And by that, I don't mean because he's any good. I mean because he asks for lots of wages, as I found out on several of my saves, actually. I think last year I tried to sign him on my Sweden or Bus save for IFK Göteborg. And yeah, he wanted like £60,000 a week or something ridiculous. But we managed to win the game. Things didn't go entirely to plan in this one, and there is one thing that I'm really hoping does not come back to bite us in the face, and that is Vukasin Jovanovic's own goal that gave Brøndby the league. Their only shot of the game was obviously not that. We should have had more goals in this. Mahatma Otto was superb. Both of his goals, he and Strak Walersi were glorious. He's setting up some wonderful strike partnerships with Strak Walersi and Luka Jovic, that he really has settled in nicely. 2 goals for him and 1 for Vukan Savicevic, of course. We won the game very, very, very comfortably, and only 1 clear-cut chance, though, which is the worry. But I think we should have won by more goals, personally. Now, I don't normally do this, but sometimes you just cannot ignore how awful a goal is. And for that very reason, I am actually going to show you, if I can remember how. It's been so long. Wait, is he? Oh, it's there, isn't it? What am I doing? Right, yeah, I'm actually going to show you highlights of the goal, because the first goal the goal that I scored is probably one of the most comical own goals you're ever going to see. Now, because we won the game 3-1, I'm not too bothered about it, but believe me, it was it put the Benny Hill music over it. So I'm just going to show it to you in 2D, because you'll see all the lols as they happen. So basically, we've got the ball here, and then yeah, we think we're about to score a goal. Great, ball in, cleared away. Comes to Darko Lazic here in the centre of the pitch, which is fine. You think, yeah, good stuff. Jovanovic now, poor ball here. Rosenberg picks it up, so you think, okay. And then we miss the tackle there, miss the ball there, 2 more of them miss it. Ball then comes in there, it's cleared against our own player and into the back of the net. I mean, Jesus. I mean, wow. That was some woeful defending, whatever you want to call that. It certainly wasn't defending. Point is, though, we won the game 3-1, and that was good, because that gives us a good position. We do still need to go to Denmark, and I'm tempted to go 2 up top in this game just to really see what we can do, because we need goals. We need a goal, really. Because that goal could, they could win the game 2-0, and that ridiculous goal could actually put them through, and I can't afford that right now because we're expected to get to the group stage. In our last game of the month, or last game that we played, we had yet another game where Luka Jovic and Mahatma Otu teamed up to an absolute perfection in this game. In the Super Cup final against Napradak, we were, again, absolutely dominant over them. They missed a penalty in the last minute, and they frankly didn't deserve that either, because for me it was outside the box. It wasn't in the D this time, though. It was right down in the corner. Very odd. But yeah, Mahatma Otu scored 1, got 2 assists. Luka Jovic scored 2, got 1 assist. Those two are a beautiful strike partnership that's already starting to blossom, and I am loving every minute of it. Look at this. I mean, their only chance of the game was the penalty, which they missed. So great goalkeeping actually from Stankovic there, who's still filling in for Carriman at the moment. So there we have it. That's what we've done this month. Today we've got the game against Brøndby, and I am ready for it. Right, let's just take a little look at the squad. As for appearances, top goal scorer for us at the moment is Luka Jovic with 4 in 2, because that's Luka Jovic. But Oto has got 3 as well, which is awesome to see, and also has 4 assists, so I'm thinking he actually could be our signing of the season here. And 2 player of the match already. Pass rating, also decent pass rating of 86%. Not bad. Jovanovic, though, 89. Lovely stuff from him. Yellow cards, of course, Jovanovic and Lazic with 2, and no red so far. Average rating, Luka Jovic with nearly a 9. He carries on like that. He's on for all kinds of European records, frankly. So let's get into this game today. I'm just a little worried, because I do feel that they're actually playing the same system as they played in the away leg. That surprises me. And at the same time makes me think we should play the exact same system we played, because they've not gone more attacking. They might have changed the... Well, we might be able to... Jovic is looking knackered, though. That's worrying. Okay, well, Despotovic will come in. And Rakowski will start. That's good. This is going to be his first game for us, so that's going to be interesting. Bosancic and Ristic will play in the midfield. I'm assuming that because Cernic played in the last game, that he's not that unfair, but we've still got a few injuries, as you can see. Accidentally didn't register Anthony Annan, which is a pain, but luckily I can still register him for the next round, so it's all right. Rakowski, I am going to train him for that right wing position. In fact, I'm going to just sort that out right now while I remember, because that is important. Start training for a new position. Yep. I need to make sure that he is completely, and he's actually good as an inside forward. That's going to be very useful for us, because that is the exact role he will be playing for us today, and an attacking one at that. So, let's go for it. I'm really, really up for this game. Despotovic and Otu, I don't think they've played up front together yet. So hopefully Otu can set up a couple of goals for him. He is playing that deep lying forward role absolutely amazingly. I'm so impressed with him. And he's our key man. Mahatma Otu, I don't really know, he's not even listed as one of his sort of big abilities. He's a supporting deep line forward, isn't he? But he does have quite decent stats for that role. In fact, he's got very decent stats for that role. I can kind of understand why he is able to play that so well. I'm very, very pleased with him so far, Mahatma. I might start calling you Gandhi. Right. Because that was Gandhi's first name, not because of any other reason you might think of. Right. So, I think it was, Gandhi's first name was Mahatma, wasn't it? We are the favourites, which is interesting in itself. I really don't want to screw this up. I don't think we're going to. But you just never know. Remember we lost at we managed to lose against Plovdiv, so all kinds of things can still go horribly wrong for us, and I'm still very wary of that. Let's put it that way. I'm hoping that Rakowski can make a decent debut for us, and I'm hoping that Otu can maybe get us something too. It's actually the first game that Despotovic has started for us this season, so that's going to be interesting. I'm hoping he can do a good job. But I think the key player for us, as pointed out in pre-match, is going to be Otu. You know, I think if we're going to get something out of this game, which I'd like to think if we just don't lose, we should be fine, that it's going to come through Otu. But I think we're good enough probably to just try and control this game as well. I've never played the system away from home so far. Basancic, ball in, and penalty! Oh, lovely start. If we can score here, they're in real trouble. And is this going to be Milos Basancic, or have we got a new penalty taker? I can't remember the number. I always know that what was number 3. No, it is Basancic. He's never missed a penalty for us, and he still hasn't. Brøndby 0, Red Star Belgrade 1. Milos Basancic, he was the joint top scorer in the Champions League last year with 8. And he's got off to a wonderful start in match number 4? I think it's number 4, yeah. That's perfect, really, because now they need to score at least 3 goals against us. And that's just to take it to extra time. We now need to concede 4 goals against them, and that seems a little unlikely at the moment. Doesn't mean it won't happen, though, and I'm not jinxing it at all. Something else I've noticed is that my assistant, when we were absolutely dominating Napradak in that game, kept saying to me, we're getting outnumbered in the midfield, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, right, we're 3-0 up, and at one point had 72% possession. Despotovic, over the crossbar, should have been 2-0 there, and game over. That should have been game over, tie over. I've never seen a situation like that where it's actually fallen to the right player. Keep losing David. Does David have another name, or just David? Oh, well done again. Ristic does brilliantly there. And the long ball actually does find his man. Despotovic brings it down. Can he find... Oh, he's gone for Rakowski instead of Otu. Otu now wins it. And naturally... Oh, damn it. He's lost it. We could be under attack here. He's going to knock this in behind Nelmander. David is through now for Brøndby. What a save. That could be a you're going through to the next round type of save. You know, we need to get a second goal here, really. I would like to win both legs if I can, just because that'd be fun, like we were doing last year in the Champions League, because we know that the next round we're going to get drawn against someone good. You know, we managed to overcome Celtic in the last round, and that was a surprise. We're getting a lot of possession, which is good. Keep losing David. Well, stop losing David then. Right, cleared away again. Oh, it's gone to David again. Damn it, David. Laudrup. Don't know if it's any relation to Brian or Michael Laudrup, and it was 1-1 here, and it looked like Johan Elmander. It is Brøndby 1, Red Star Belgrade 1. So, they're a decent side, and they are at home after all. Young Laudrup there, I'm going. We probably should have done better at defending that corner, really. I have got the corner instructions set up to be what they have been on all my saves, which generally works, but it just doesn't always work. It is never going to always work. 1-1 at half-time is not bad, I have to say. It could be a lot worse. Although Despotovic is looking a little bit cream crackered at the moment, and I'm tempted to make a half-time substitution because I don't want him to get injured, and we do have a much stronger bench nowadays. So, because Jovic wasn't even fit enough for the bench, Strakwalershi is going to play the second half here. Maybe a risk bringing the substitution on so early, but the fact is, Despotovic has missed that chance, and it's Mads Laudrup. Oh, it's our chance from a corner, and it's cleared away, down as far as Otu. Surely a long-range effort, perhaps? No, back to Gavric. That's really good play here. Gavric. Cross for Rakowski. No, he can't shoot, surely. No. Poor. I don't know how that counts as a clear-cut chance. There's so many bodies in the way there that he's never going to get the ball through. Unless you're playing for like Chelsea, then you'll always get the ball through. They've had a lot more shots on target than us, but we're still looking alright here. I am tempted to drop the system back, though, around about 70 minutes and try to just absorb the pressure a little bit more. Oh, dear. Around about 70 minutes, so naturally the highlight occurs on 69:54. He's going to get this ball through and they're going to score, aren't they? Elmander. Oh, it's a penalty. God's sake. Oh, I don't believe this. Rakowski's more comfortable there. And Savicevic will... Strakwalerski's fresh us up. It makes sense to keep him on. Although, actually, I might switch Rakowski and Savicevic over. What am I doing? I can't believe we're giving away a penalty there. This game was going so damn well. We might have to scrape through a little bit here. Come on, save it. Go on, you save one. Ah, it's 2-1. And now this game could get a little bit interesting for the last 20 minutes because they're going to be gunning for us. and they've not done bad. They've not got a lot of the ball, but they've made the most of it. As you can see, a large travelling support here from the Red Star fans, although they're probably over here actually, so yeah, screw you. Right, now let's make another change, because I need to switch those two across. I think they'd be better off like that. Only slightly, but Savicevic is better in that role, for me anyway. So yeah, it is an attacking style system, so we actually should probably switch this to more of a counter-attack, but I just want to see if we can maybe push them back a bit with an extra man in the midfield. Oh, I thought we were going to win that then. Oh, we have surely a goal. Oh my days, how do you not score those? That is absurd. Like, why can we not score those? It's disgraceful, the ability to miss that sort of opportunity. If we fucking concede now, actually, well, that would be my fault, because once again, we're still on a slightly more offensive strategy. We should close him down. Yes, we should. But we've sort of pushed them back a little bit in so doing, and that's kind of what I was trying to go for. I'm going to bring on Planic for Lazic, just because he's looking a little bit knackered. I know he's not the only one, but frankly, at times you've got no choice. I prefer to have just flipped those two over as well. It's a bit mismatched at the moment, but I think we can survive the last few minutes. I'm going to switch to defensive in a sec once these changes have gone through. And we're going to go waste some time. Going to close down a little bit more and be a little bit more disciplined. I know that's a lot of instructions, but there we go. Less instructions. Way less. Come on, 4 minutes to go and we're through. That early goal, the early penalty, come on, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Oh, we've done it. A little bit shaky, but that home result has really done the trick, and we are through to the Champions League playoff. Whew, rode our luck a little bit at times in that game, but we did get ourselves through, and it was worth it. I was dreading to think that own goal in the first game could have cost us, but it hasn't, and we are through to the next round of the Champions League. I'll tell you what, since the Champions League playoff draw is quite close to now, I'm going to tack it onto the end of this video, because why the hell not? I see no reason why we shouldn't. It's literally a couple of days down the line. Hopefully I'll have no important mails to deal with in that time, so I'm just going to just skip through a couple of things till we get to the draw, because, you know, mail isn't really that important at the moment. Right, let's just... oh, you can bugger off, can't you? Karaman's back, that's great, blah, 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 blah. Right, Champions League draw today. Right, so we're going to do the draw. There's only 5 games, so we're going to do it automatic. So there's seeded teams and unseeded teams. Who do we want? Well, actually, I'll tell you who we want. Oh, we're not that far away from getting ourselves seeded as well. We need to be a little bit better, and then we'll nick that last seeded spot, and we could get to play against someone like this instead. Well, we know that we want Maribor, basically. We beat them last year, and I think we could do that again. The one we don't want is Olympiacos. Let's go. That is the team we do not want, is Olympiacos. Celtic will host Helsingborg. Dynamo Zagreb. I'll take Dynamo Zagreb too if we have to. They'll host Maccabi Haifa. Shit. Austria Georgiou will host Maribor. Oh no. Red Bull Salzburg. Please be Red Bull Salzburg. Oh no. Come on. Oh guys, I think we're in trouble here. Olympiacos are a really, really good side. We've got the worst possible draw there. I'm worried that we may not make it through. But you will be joining us for the second leg to find out if we were able to do that in the next episode. Oh dear. So that'll be here against Olympiacos. We've got a couple of league games in there. We've got Vojvodina, we've got Proletar Novi Sad, we've got Olympiacos off the first leg, and we've got Jagodina in the league. I don't know. That was the worst possible draw. After all the hard work, we were going to be up against it here. Celtic was tough, but these guys are going to be much, much tougher than that. Miracle time. We're going to have to do very, very well at home and just defend for our lives away from home. That's basically going to have to be the plan, I think, guys. But since I'm playing the away game first, I'll have to do my best to see what we can try and get from the Greek game. So, if you like what you've seen, please feel free to drop a like on the episode, and if you'd like to eat more than that, please feel free to subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock, and I'll see you guys in the next episode for the Olympiacos game. That is going to be worrying. See you guys then. Bye-bye.